After his title hiatus, Dustin Poirier thinks Ilia Topuria should be given an instant crack at the lightweight title. Although Poirier questioned Ilia's true size in relation to some of the category's gigantic lightweights, DP commended El Matador's choice to give up the featherweight belt as honorable and respectable, pointing out that it keeps the division from being held up. Despite those reservations, he feels that El Matador's convincing win over Max Holloway and his readiness to advance warrant an instant shot at the lightweight title. However, since Islam's team isn't interested in the bout, Dustin himself might be El Matador's next opponent, creating a high-stakes matchup. Showdown Dustin also disclosed that he plans to fight for his retirement this summer, with a target date of July or August. The diamond remark has great meaning for New Orleans, where the UFC is considering holding a possible event. Giving up the crown to avoid impeding the division where men have been putting in a lot of effort to win the title is honorable and decent. He's doing it correctly. Everyone claims that he is hefty and walks around heavy, but some of these lightweights are enormous, so I'm not sure how big he is if he can weigh 145 pounds. I would give him a shot at the lightweight championship immediately away if he were to go up and vacate the title after defeating Max Holloway in the manner that he did. In the summer, most likely in July or August, I will battle for my retirement. UFC New Orleans is what we're working on. Retiring in my home state is my goal. Since 2015, the UFC has not been present. I also engaged in combat on the card. Moreover, I engaged in combat with Yancy Matos, but that was my final opportunity to do so at home. It would be amazing for my career to retire to Louisiana, where it all began. Finish the quote. In response to Henry Cejudo's contentious defeat against S. Yadong, Ariel Helwani stated that Song should have lost a point for the eye poke. He said that the no contest or disqualification discussion was no longer pertinent because the bout resumed after the foul. Rather, the bout proceeded to the scorecards, where Song won by unanimous decision. Helwani noted that if referee Jason Herzog had taken away a point, the bout would have ended in a majority draw rather than Song winning, which, in Helwani's opinion, would have changed the entire outcome. The bout ought to have been declared a draw at best and a no contest at worst. Additionally, he attacked Henry's post-fight treatment, arguing that he was unjustly punished for attempting to battle through his injury. Dana White's annoyance with Cejudo was apparent, according to Ariel, who brought up the fact that the UFC president is still upset over Henry giving up the title in 2020. In the end, the UFC is considering Song's victory to be clean, but Helwani feels Henry was treated unfairly. Since the battle has resumed, the no contest EQ discussion is no longer relevant. Instead, they must look at the scorecards, and once you do, you will notice that Song, in the judge's opinion, has won the fight. Take a look at it right here. Salado 30-27, and Mike Bell 29-28, 8. Derek Clear 29-28. The rub is this: it isn't 29-28 for Mike Bell if Jason Herzog takes away the point now. It's 28-28. It's obviously 28-28 for...
The no contest DQ discussion is no longer a factor because the fight has now resumed. So what they have to go to are the scorecards. And when you go to the scorecards, you will see, and we have the scorecards, Song, according to the judges, wins the fight. Look at it right here. Mike Bell, 29-28. Derek Cleary, 29-28. And Sal D'Amato, 30-27. Here's the rub. If Jason Herzog takes the point away, now all of a sudden, it ain't 29-28 for Mike Bell, it's 28-28. It ain't 29-28 for Derek Cleary, it's 28-28. And for Sal D'Amato, it's 29-27. But that's a majority draw. And so in my opinion, at best, this fight is a draw. At worst, it should have been a no contest. If Henry would have said, I can't fight, and doesn't try. He was penalized for trying to fight through. And then afterwards, he's being called out for looking for a way out.
It's possible that Josh Thompson just revealed Ilia Topuria's upcoming bout on the Weighing In podcast. According to his sources, Thompson even leaked confidential information about impending lightweight bouts in response to Big John McCarthy's and the Georgian fighter's decision to relinquish his featherweight title. With Arman Sarian scheduled to take on Charles Ola next, Toria's only two viable candidates are Dustin Poirier or Islam Makhachev. However, Thompson thinks Poirier is El Matador's most likely opponent because Islam's manager has said they won't consider a fight with Ilia at this moment. Big John said that since the Diamond has declared time and time again that he is only interested in fighting legends and Ilia isn't yet a legend, he questioned whether Dustin would even want the battle. McCarthy admitted that Poirier might be persuaded to accept at the same time because the fight is still well known. Additionally, DP hinted at a trilogy battle with Max Holloway over history. Dustin defeated Max in their first encounter in 2012, and he went on to win the interim lightweight title in 2019 after a vicious rematch. Dustin might solidify his control over Blessed and retire, while Max would have a chance at atonement in a third bout.
Dustin has basically been calling for legend fights. Now, I understand when you sit there and you say, well, is Topuria a legend yet? He's a former champion, so you got to give him that. He's undefeated. You got to give him that. So I can understand why Dustin Poirier would say, yeah, that's a fight I'll take. I think it's it's something that's going to motivate him. And that's what Dustin's looking for. I need to have that thing that you know what? It gives me a little bit of a buzz. It's, scares me a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. That's what he needs. And so this is a great fight for him.
Can I throw something out there? I know Dustin keeps talking about this is my retirement fight. Let me throw something out there. I feel like there's something there right now. I'm hearing that it's going to be Arman and Charles again. That's one. So I'm hearing Dustin and Ilya will be this fight. Islam's kind of going through Ramadan here, and I think in another week, I think Ramadan starts.
Yeah, and then end of February.
So he probably won't fight till International Fight Week. So if you get this...
Alex Pereira receives a warning from Maged. Alex keeps allaying worries about his readiness, demonstrating to DC that he is still fully committed to training camp and isn't merely doing side projects to allay suspicions. Pereira shared a video of himself practicing takedown defense in the snow with Glover Teixeira, his head coach. Due to his wrestling prowess and unrelenting cage pressure, Magomed Ankalaev is regarded by many as Pereira's most difficult opponent to date. However, Ankalaev has dismissed Pereira's striking as overrated, saying he intends to outstrike the Brazilian instead of depending on his grappling in response to Pereira's snow training. X was warned by Ankalaev, who said, "I hope you're ready to do this for 25 minutes." Considering Pereira's previous opponents, ANV isn't persuaded that Alex has experienced actual adversity inside the octagon, and observed that although Alex had strong counters versus Yuri Prohaska and Jamal Hill, his general strategy has stayed consistently advancing with his striking-heavy style. The Russian candidate feels that Pereira hasn't been put to the test yet and is fortunate that he hasn't encountered significant opposition, and added that although wrestling is a possibility, he would be more than happy to stand and hit Pereira in order to reveal any vulnerabilities, because both fighters have the ability to knock out opponents. Although Pereira hinted at a potential switch to heavyweight, Anvi's remarks indicate he's holding his grappling skills in reserve in case it becomes necessary. War is still high. Anive, who isn't convinced, asked why people think Pereira will be successful in the category, pointing to the Brazilian's lack of wrestling experience as a significant barrier. That doesn't seem likely to occur. The light heavyweight division isn't something the champion can just breeze through before moving up, according to Analia, who stated, "As somebody who has no wrestling